Good evening. This is a bit of a strange one. Thursday evening for a preview show because Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are playing on a Friday. That's right. At Sellers Park in the Premier League, Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. kickoff. Let's do it. Let's do the preview show. Like I said, good evening and thank you for joining PRTvSpurs and Paxton Road TV for your weekly preview show of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Joining me to discuss tomorrow's evening's game is the one and only Sam, Spurs for Life, and Mr. Sean Earl. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Very well, thank you. Got a little sparkliness going off in the background here with the green screen, but yeah, all good, my friend.
Good. Have I gone off again?
No, you're fine.
Oh, cool. Sam?
Oh, it's me. It might have been me. Sorry, is that better? Any better?
Yeah, you're better now. You're better. Sean, how you doing?
Okay. You know, happy to be at top of the table.
Absolutely. On top of the world. Tottenham Hotspur. We're top of the world. Right, so bit of an unusual one, isn't it, this week? On a Thursday, we're doing a preview show for a game on Friday. I can't even remember the last time we played on a Friday at 8 p.m. Do you guys remember? Do you remember any time we played on a Friday?
Not in recent memory, I can't. I'm sure we have, but anybody wants to suggest any? I can't think of it.
I don't know what I don't as well. So, Sean, can you remember?
No, unless it was like a holiday period, Christmas period, something like that. I don't know. I can't imagine we played on a Friday before.
Yeah.
I think it's only a recent thing that league matches have come in on a Friday. So.
And what will be the mood going into tomorrow evening's kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or at the Lodge or in general with the players and the managers? Starting with you, Sam. Will it be very confident going into tomorrow's game?
There's a sea change in terms of mentality. We can all appreciate that in the last few months. Before, if we were top of the table, let's say last year, maybe year before, a few years back, we might be going into this game thinking, oh, it's going to be a Spursy thing, blah, blah, blah. Whether we win, lose or draw, I think the performance is going to be important. And I think obviously after Andrew said about the performance after the last game, he's looking for that more so than anything else. With the performance usually comes the results based on the opposition you're playing. So going into this Crystal Palace game full of confidence, if the players play like how we know and we've got the players on the pitch that can do the necessary, I think it'll be a straightforward game again and a straightforward victory. As I say straightforward, I mean as in we'll win it. Crystal Palace, London derby, Roy Hodgson, ex-England manager, will put it on us. But they've got certain players out that I think will make a big difference to them.
And yourself, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be confident given, you know, the manager's been really happy apart from the second half of last Monday night's game with how we played. We've exercised a good amount of control in all the games, including away at the Emirates. And we should go in there. They should go in there quite quietly confident. As Sam has alluded to, I think Palace will give us problems, but not the same problems they would have with Eze missing and Elise missing. They're very strong. Yeah, and they're very strong defensively. So they'll be a tough nut to break down.
Yeah, and we'll go into the details as we go along. So, Sam, Sean, are you ready? Let's do it. Guess what we're going to do?
What delights have you got today?
We're gonna play. You're gonna like this one. Not a lot, but you like this one. We're gonna play Prem Busters. So let's do it. Let's play Prem Busters. Are you ready? Let me get it right. Here we go. Ready? Go.
Where's the sound?
You like that?
Where's the sound?
Was there no sound?
I didn't hear it. Unless I didn't hear anything. Sure.
No sound, my friend.
No,
Nice.
are you sure? Hold on.
Nice slide, but no sound.
Let's do it again. It should work. Hold on. Can you hear that?
Yes. Just.
Anyway, that was my bit of a joke as Prem Busters. But all right, guys, going into tomorrow's game, we are sitting on top of the summit. We are top of the league. Believe it or not, a lot of all the other fans didn't expect us to be where we are, and it's hurting them. It's hurting them so much. The fact that they're bringing out games in April where we've got 4 games against Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, and they're telling us, wait till you get them 4 games. We'll have won the league by then. I don't know what's up with them. Right. Tottenham Hotspurs played 9, 23 points, 2 points ahead of Manchester City, played 9, 21 points. Arsenal played 9, 21 points. Liverpool played 9, 20 points. And then you've got Aston Villa, 19 points from 9 games. Starting with you then, Sam. Going into tomorrow's game, 2 points clear, knowing if we win before anyone else plays on Saturday, we're 5 points at the clear of the Prem. How's that?
Again, the pressure is on other teams. When people say, the pressure's on you at the top, no, if we play first, if we do what we're supposed to do and win our games, then the pressure's on everybody else to try and match our results. So it should be, if I was managing, if I was in this sort of position, I'd be like looking at it as a real opportunity. You can't look at it as being something that's going to be, we're going to go in this with intrepidation. You got to go in this thinking, you see the table, 10 games gone. If you win tomorrow, we'll be on 26 points out of 30. There's not many teams I don't remember having done that after 10 games. And I certainly don't know any manager that's new in the Prem, because our manager's the first managers to do that, to go into a 10th game with 23 points on the board. So all you can be is confident. You can't do anything else. So simple for me. Win the game, 5 points clear.
Sean?
Yeah, I think I quite liked the way that Ant tackled this in the press conference this afternoon, in which he sort of said that it means nothing, mate. It means nothing, mate, because there's a whole weekend of fixtures to come after it. And it doesn't, he was just basically saying it means nothing to me. All I want is good performances. That's all I'm concerned about is performance. And that's the way to approach it, I think. As long as we perform, we should take the 3 points and we can put our feet up and relax, because we don't play again till a week on Monday.
What I would say, I haven't seen the press conference, so I can't comment on what he said. But what I would say, I believe there's a public persona and a private persona with regards to what he's saying. Ange Postecoglou doesn't like to lose football matches. That's clear. So whether he says it's all about the performance, he does obviously care about the result. He knows this, and the players will know this ultimately as well. But yeah, he's doing the right thing in terms of coming out in the press and saying what he's saying to somehow alleviate pressure, if there is pressure on his shoulders, because there is now people talking about him in the terms of, this guy, he's not been known in the Premier League. He's an unknown quantity, and now he's come into the Premier League, won 7 games out of 9, blah, 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 blah. They are going to start ramping up the pressure in terms of the media stuff. He's doing the right thing. In private, I cannot believe he would say that. As a manager who doesn't like to lose, I think he's putting it on them players to make sure they win tomorrow. If they can, go out, perform, yes, but win that game.
Yeah, and especially, Arsenal have got Sheffield United, I think, and Liverpool have got Forest, whereas Manchester City have got Man United. So potentially Man City could lose points. I don't think they will, but potentially it could. So you know what? Having that win tomorrow night, making 5 points clear is always the best thing to do, because then you're letting other teams then do the chasing, aren't you? the pressure will be on the other teams to get the results, knowing we've got a weekend off, we're top of the league, and Madison's going to be partying. Right. So that is that. Let's have a look at the head-to-head versus Crystal Palace. 28 meetings then. In general, Crystal Palace have won 4. Spurs have won 17.
Wow.
At home, Crystal Palace have won 3 times. We've beaten them 8 times. And then they've won once at our stadium, and we've won 9 times at our stadium. 7 draws. So again, as records go, Sean, it should be in our favour, shouldn't it? Because 8 wins away to their 3 at home.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The perception and the reality around Crystal Palace is quite different, isn't it? Because I always feel that it's a difficult game. I always, I have memories of, really, conceding late goals, and but there you are. You've laid it out. Our track record against Palace, and I'm assuming this is just the Premier League era.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. In fact, very good. And in fact, even in the middle of last season when we were playing atrociously, we went to their place and won 4-0. I remember Brian Hill setting up Kane for that really good goal in the second half. And Sonny scored as well, which was a rarity last season. So, I mean, we shouldn't fear going to Palace. I mean, their fans will bring the ruckus. There'll be plenty of noise, and they'll be behind their team. But we need to take the sting out of them by scoring early, or scoring first, definitely, and just take the 3 points. I'll take a 1-0 win as much as a 5-0 win. So
yeah, I agree. Sam, 8 wins at their place.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that, and the perception is, again, people talk about Palace, it's a tough place to go, blah blah blah. Roy Hodgson, all the rest of it. But as Sean just said, we won there 4-0 last season with Roy Hodgson there. Was he there? Has he come back recently? Isn't he?
He come back recently. No, I don't think he was there when we beat him 4-0.
Wasn't. That'd be interesting to know when he was there, what the results were. Anyway, going back to the point, the record itself is a great record. Any London team that you play and you've got a win percentage like that suggests that it's a game that you should go into with confidence. And if they don't look at this and think, yeah, we should win this game tomorrow, then there's nothing we can do about players' mentality. But I know that that's not the case. So I'm hoping that as well as this, Ange goes in to say, we're top of the league, boys, you're playing well, our football's good. We had a second half that wasn't the best. But as I said, I really thought that was a spot-on performance, because you managed the game, took players off who are now going to be ready and available for Friday. And hopefully, they're going to go into this thinking, as I said, 5 points clear by Friday evening. It's only the crowd. It's the crowd. Oh, and they start doing all of that shit. I'm like, oh, this crowd. But you put them to sleep, put them quiet, get the goal in, make them go quiet, and then they ain't singing that song no more.
Yeah, exactly. So, talking of what you were saying, previous meetings with them. 7th of March 2021, Spurs 4, Palace 1. September the 11th, 2021, Crystal Palace 3, Spurs 0. December 26th, 2022, Spurs won 3-0 at the Hotspur Stadium. Then we won 4-0, 24th of January 2023 at Selhurst Park. And on 6th of May 2023, we won 1-0. Which leads me on to not that one. Where's my? I've lost the slide. Anyway, but yeah. So there you go. There's the previous 5 meetings. We've won 4, lost 1. Do I need to say any more, or are we? Sean, Sam, anything to add to that?
I don't know what Sean thinks. I'm not going into this with it.
The only defeat though, Sid, was under Nuno, and that was when he, remember Japhet Tanganga showed a little bit of inexperience and got himself sent off, and yeah, we were imploding at that point, and it wasn't long before I think that was the last game before the Man United game, which is his last game. So yeah, I mean that you could tell when you're not being led very well at the head of the club, then Palace can do that to you. So Sahar had a field day that day, as I remember. But as Sam has already alluded, he's no longer there to taunt us.
Yeah.
If you think about it, their best 3 players, in my opinion, I'm not sure. I haven't heard that they are fit, but I'm assuming they're not. Elise and Eze. You know, if you look at those 3 players, and those Zaha's gone, but they were their most potent attacking players. They don't have those guys. I know they've got other players, but they're not at the same level. We can contain them because of the possession that I hope that we have, and they're going to probably allow us that possession. We've just got to make sure that again. We say it. I say it every week. I think it's clear. First goal, most important for us as a team, because I watched us when we scored that first goal against Fulham. We controlled the game in terms of playing the ball around. I know the stats suggested it was 56% and 44%, but when you watch the game territorially, we had them under control. So same thing for this game. Get that goal, control the game, let them want to break out and do their transition thing, and then pick them off as we've done in previous meetings with other teams.
And if you're joining us on PRTvSpurs or Paxton Road TV, please make sure you continue with your comments. Make sure you subscribe and also smash that like button. We've got Pav in the house. Kevin Gonzalez is in the house. Cowtown Greaser, I don't know if he's still in. He was in a couple of hours ago. So the previous 4 meetings at Selhurst Park, Spurs, Crystal Palace 1, Spurs 1. Schlupp scored and Kane scored the goal for Spurs. The following game, Schlupp scored again, Kane scored again. It's not a mistype. It's not a copy and paste. Well, it is, because the 2 games, they both scored. Then it was 3-0, like you were saying, Sean. Zaha and Edouard scored twice. And then last season, Kane scored 2, Doherty and Stone. So that's the previous 4 meetings at Selhurst Park. 2 draws.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see the colours code. Yeah, sorry. 2 draws.
Yeah.
And 2
2
wins?
draws.
2 draws and 2 wins? No,
2
sorry.
draws, 1 win.
1 win.
Yeah.
Oh, you confused me with all these things with the colours.
You know
That's what's doing my head in.
No, I changed the colours, but I think I put the wrong one in. The wrong version.
Blue meant we won. Sorry.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, yeah, you know, it seems like 1 loss, 1 win and 2 draws. But, like you both said, going into tomorrow's game and the way their Palace have been playing, the way Spurs are playing, it should be a away win. But I've been to their ground and it can get noisy. It can get rowdy. And I think their fans, like you said, Sam, when they start singing that, whoa,
that's true. I have to say, I love that song for the fans. We should have had that one. I love it.
I know, but it's their song and we can't do anything about it. Right, previous 5 meetings then. So we last outing for us, we won at Fulham 2-0. So this is how it is. Sheffield United 2-1 at home. They lost 3-1 to Aston Villa. We drew with Arsenal 2-2. They drew with Fulham 0-0. We beat Liverpool 2-1. They won to Man United 1-0. We beat Luton 1-0. They drew with Forest. And then 2-0 Tottenham Fulham. They lost 4-0 to Newcastle. Sean, so looking at the last 5 games, we've won 4, drawn 1. They've won 1, drawn 2, lost 2. Again, we ask this question every week. Does the form going into this game matter? Because I want your perspective and I want Sam's, because I've got my perspective on it and I want to see if we all agree. Because I know every time we talk about this and we always say form doesn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. What do you think now, looking at that?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear looking at the scores that Palace are struggling. I mean, they're not getting, although with the exception perhaps of the Newcastle game, they're not taking too many licks, but they're certainly nowhere near as potent. And you know, you lose Eze, you lose Elise, and you know, obviously Zaha left in the summer. they're not firing on all cylinders. If Edouard doesn't score for them, and he's a bit streaky, who's going to score for them? So they are relying on a very well marshalled defence, and we will have our work cut out to get through them. There's no doubt about it. Well, they'll probably play in a mid block, maybe, maybe in a low block initially, just to stem up our attacks. But it's up to us to find a way through, as ever.
Yeah. Sure. Sam, what do you think?
Form always matters going into these games in terms of what you look at. Sean said it already. Goals scored. Not very many from them. We've scored in every single Premier League game that we played this season. Looking at the game that they played against Manchester United, which was their only win in that last 5, Manchester United had 77% possession to their 23. Man United had 19 shots to their 8. That tells you exactly what type of team they are. And that was away from home. They're obviously going to have to respect us being top of the league. They're not looking at us as the Tottenham of old. They're looking at us as top of Tottenham, who are top of the league with a manager that's got them winning 7 games. I expect them to play with a pretty much a low to mid block. I expect them to play in transition. I expect them to be defensively solid. I expect them to try and get goals off, set pieces and wherever they can, in terms of that count, as I've said. First goal changes everything, They won't then just come out and say, we're going to have to go for it, but they'll change how their mentality is because you're goal down. So the earlier we score, the better it is for us. The later we score, obviously, it becomes a little bit more problematic. Score first half. Build on that, get 2 goals. I'm saying, we'll see what we say in the predictions anyway.
For me, we always look at this, Sam, and we always say, and Sean, we've always said we don't look at the last form. We don't look at the last 4 or 5 games because different teams have different mentalities against different opponents. But for me, going into this, right, we're unbeaten in 9 games, right? Last 5, we've drawn 1. We've scored in every single game. We've won 4 of them. Yeah. So for me, we've got to be firm favourites. We've got to be top of the form because you're not top of the league for no reason. You're not playing crap.
Not after 9 games. After 2 games, you might say that, but not after 9.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And 9 games unbeaten, scored in almost every game.
We have scored in every game.
Exactly. And, and if you're Palace, you're probably going to be thinking, do we really want to play Spurs at this precise moment? I don't think they will. As much as they say, yes, we want to play Spurs, I don't think they'll want to play Spurs because out of all the teams, like City can be beaten. Arsenal, people can get at them. Liverpool can get at them. United, Villa, everyone. But for some reason, Spurs, it's Spurs. And Postecoglou's got them going. Basuma should be back for tomorrow as well. So for me, this form business, man, for once, I'm actually going to turn around and say, do you know what? It's good. It's good. And we should be firm favourites. Right. So let's have a look.
I think your next slide will obviously the next slide. I think I know what the next slide will be.
Do you now?
Do you now?
You two have been doing this for too long. You can read each other's minds.
I think I know what the next slide is.
I think I'm alone now. Right, let's have a look. Then let me make sure then Sam he knows what he wants. So it's not that one. That's the one. That was the next one.
That one.
Here we go. This is what you want, didn't you?
I knew that was coming next.
It was right. So the season so far. Tottenham Hotspur, number 1. Crystal Palace are 11th. They've won 3. We've won 7. 3 draws to our 2. They've lost 3. We haven't lost any. Average goals per match, 0.78. And you were both saying about not having a striker and Edouard not going to perform, then they got a problem. That says it all. Tottenham are scoring 2.22. Average goals conceded, they're conceding 1.22 to our 0.89. So they're not, like you said, Sean, they're not getting battered apart from 4-0 and 3-1. 4-0 and 3-1. Clean sheets, 4-4. Chances created per game, 1.22 to our 2.56. Biggest win for them was 3-2. Aussies 3-1. Aussies not 3-1. Ours is 5-2. I don't know where 3-2 come from. Right, Sam, you like this bit? Average goals scored per game 2.22, and they're not scoring. They're 0.78, and chances created again we're almost double there. So talk to me about this then.
So after night, again, we talked about this earlier. When you're only talking about 2, 3, 4 games, these stats can kind of be a little bit skewed. After 9 games, I think you've got a clearer picture of what a team is like. So again, looking at it, they look like a team that plays off transition based on the way that their goals are and the way that they haven't conceded a lot of goals. They have got 4 clean sheets, which is the same as ours. So again, it tends to lead me to believe that they are going to be more of a defensive team tomorrow night, which they should be. They've got to respect us from that perspective. It's the chances of creating. We're double what they create per match, you know. And I think we'll create quite a few opportunities tomorrow, although I don't think we'll create as many as we've done previously at home. But I think we'll create enough chances to be able to take this match comfortably. I think the thing for Palace, what they've got to hope for is that they can take this deep into, or if they get that first goal, how will that change them? Will they go even more defensive, or will they go? I don't see them going for it at any point in this game unless they have to, unless they're forced to because they're 2-0 behind or whatever it is, and then last 10 minutes they're going to throw it. Roy Hodgson is no dummy. He's a very, very good coach. He might be old in the tooth now, but he's not lost anything up here in terms of what he's going to produce on the pitch, organising these players. They just don't have the same level of quality, particularly when you've got Eze out and you've got Elise missing and you don't have Zara anymore. You don't have the same quality.
Sean, anything appeal to you in this one?
Yeah, that we're top of the table. That's the thing that appeals to me at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, those stats kind of speak for themselves, don't they? As I kind of alluded to, Palace are still quite strong defensively. I mean, it's no wonder that we've been casting eyes at both their central defenders. Yeah. But they just can't score, you know, and it's all about scoring goals to win games, you know, and we're getting an average of two per game. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would hope. I do feel it will be, you know, it will be a tough game. You know, shades maybe of Sheffield United or Luton, you know, the promoted sides, and you know, but you know, everything is in our favour. You know, in years gone by, we would be saying this is just leading to a banana skin, you know, but we shouldn't be really living up to our previous incarnations.
Yeah, I think, like you said, both of you have said it. They're missing crucial players. I don't think they're both back, and if they're not scoring goals, then with Romero, Van der Ven, and Poro and Udogie playing the way they're playing, I don't think Edouard's going to have a sniff. That's mine, right? I don't know if Ayew still play for him. He does, doesn't he? But again,
Schlupp is Schlupp there as well? Schlupp?
Yeah. No, I don't think. I think he is, but I can't see them having a sniff. To be fair, I can't see them having a sniff because it's like you said. It's how they play, how they transition, and what they're going to do. Sit back, like you said, Sean, do the Lutons and maybe Fulhams and Sheffield Uniteds and try and get us on the counter. And if they do, we know we've got pace in Van der Ven and Romero and all them lot. So I think it's going to be a very, very tough afternoon for them. Cantab is saying here that Schlupp's a doubt. So it's going to be very interesting tomorrow what actual team they come out with and what their mentality. I mean, like you said, Sam, before as well, Hodgson is not, you know, he's not a novice. He knows, he's been around the world, and I can't.
Manager.
Yeah, he's a good manager. Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how he sets his team up against Postecoglou and, you know, what they do. So tomorrow lineup. Now, don't shoot me, but this is what one believes would be the team, And as always, we've got to pretend we're in the dressing room, Sam, yeah? And Sean knows what's going to come. Sam, we've got to pretend we're in the dressing room now. So we have to do what they do in the dressing room, which is...
Again, I can't hear it.
How come you can't hear it?
I can hear it a little bit now. Unless the Voos can hear it. If they can hear it, it's all good. I don't mind. But
yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong. If you beg to differ with the team, but I think the back four speaks for itself. The back four speaks for itself, and the goalkeeper, because the keeper's been in top form. I mean, them 2 saves he made the other day, unbelievable. I think Bissouma comes in tomorrow with Saul Madison and then Kulu, and I think Johnson comes in for Richarlison with Son up top. I think the reason Johnson will come in is because I know we had this discussion, Sean, didn't we, on the reaction show? Although Richarlison had his moments in the game, I think Johnson needs to get back to full fitness, especially with Chelsea coming up. So I think Johnson will start. I'm a little bit thingy with Kulusevski, but I don't think we've got anyone else to play on that side. Sam, Sean, agree, disagree?
Sean can go first.
Go on, Shawnee.
My only concern is that watching the press conference is that there's a doubt about Destiny. There's a doubt about Destiny because he said Sarr was fine. He said Sarr was fine 24 hours after the game on Monday night, and he will, so he will definitely be available. But he would say Destiny, we're wait and see, and I think there may well be a change at left back.
Who comes in for you then at left back? He's got to, because
the only choice is Ben Davies, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, because if we go by the game on Saturday against Fulham, neither Porro or Emerson Royal wanted to play left back, did they? Because they kept swapping.
My God, that was a nightmare.
That was horrible. That was horrible. When Royal played on that left, he's not right for him because it's that inside position which he's not creative enough. I don't know if he quite gets that position. He tries hard. He doesn't have enough technical ability for me to play that kind of hybrid role. I don't think he's good enough.
So, Sean, is it a case of then for left back position, is Postecoglou going to go to Destiny and say, "You are my destiny. You are my one and only. I'm going to keep you on the bench so you're fully fit for Chelsea"?
No, I mean, if there's an element of doubt, you don't put him on the bench in case you have to bring him on.
Well,
no, I would say he's if you can only judge the body language, and he could be doing what used to be the Arsene Wenger way of saying, "Oh no, they're not available," and then suddenly they're all fit. You know what I mean?
Like what Mikel Arteta does with a bloody Saka. Oh yeah. Saka's playing every single minute.
Yeah.
I would. I think he may well play Davis there, and I'm not sure about Bissouma actually. He certainly talked up Bissouma in the press conference, but he just says there's a number. He says there are a number of decisions for me to make.
Of course.
And in his sort of usual sage-like way, not giving much away. But I did feel that Destiny is a doubt. I do feel he's a doubt, and the fact that he was brought off after 60 minutes, on Monday night suggests that they were concerned about him, and they're still concerned about him today. So, given our lack of depth at that position, I don't think he'll play. I don't think he'll play, and I would be surprised to see him on the bench.
Okay, so Sam, before you answer, and you can also answer if you want about this at the same time. Can't I be saying Michael Bennett plays? Van der Vaart at left back. So
I was going to throw in a bit of a curveball just with that. I was going to say, because of the way I think Palace are going to, there's a few options here that I think that, that Ange will probably take. Basuma, I'm not 100% sure he'll start. I think he'll be on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't know. He possibly not. I would start Hotspur. The reason I'm saying that is there's no danger of Hotspur getting the yellow card, whatever, and then missing the Chelsea game. Doesn't matter. You can have Basuma on the bench, and if things aren't quite clicking in terms, because Palace are not going to score lots of goals. We could already see that. They're not going to beat us 3-0. They don't have enough firepower to do that. They might score a goal, and yes, we might have to come back. But I think we've got enough in us to come back. So even if you start Hotspur and it wasn't quite working, or you went a goal down and he's, oh shit, he could bring Basuma on. And I think that would be a better option for me than starting him, because he's running that risk of that yellow card. I don't want to miss Basuma for Chelsea. There's nowhere in the world that you want him to miss that Chelsea game. If he was to miss a game, we all said it was going to be this game anyway. So why not miss this game now anyway? That's what I'm trying to say. The curveball with the left back, I quite like that, because you could bring in someone like an Ashley Phillips, although I don't think he'll do that. You could bring in a guy, because again, if you base it on what I've seen in terms of percentage, they're not going to be really playing with a lot of the ball. Yes, they're going to play in behind, but I think we've got enough control that even if someone like Dyer was playing, I think we could still be in control of that defensive outlet. So you could throw Thingy at left back, because he's quick enough to help and get back anyway. But I think it will probably be the same, and Ben Davies will probably come in. The only one I really throw in there is whether he starts Basuma. I possibly wouldn't, and I'd start with Hotspur, because I don't think Hotspur had a bad game against Fulham, in my opinion.
I didn't. No, I agree. I thought he had a decent game. For what he had to do, or what he had to come in and do, I think he done exactly that. Dinosaur saying here, I would keep the same team, cannot risk Eves in missing the Chelsea game, and give Richie another goal.
I think Richie's had enough chances. I think we need to put Brennan Johnson on.
I think so. Yeah. And Kevin Gonzalez, if I was Ange, I would rest Basuma, because if he gets a yellow card tomorrow, he will be suspended for the Chelsea game, and Chelsea always turn up against Spurs. Sean, Brennan Johnson situation then. Are you sticking with Richie, or do you bring in Johnson?
In an ideal world, tomorrow would be a great time for Brennan Johnson if we were on the front foot. But I think the left-sided player will have to do a lot of defensive work, which I thought Richie excelled at against Fulham. There's at least one headed clearance in our box, I remember. And I also seem to remember him chasing players back and stopping them on the right-hand side. So I don't want to see Brennan Johnson running backwards, because his hamstring's under enough strain as it is. Running backwards and forwards, we saw what happened against Arsenal. Him and Destiny, gave Saka that shot which led to their first goal. Although it obviously was an own goal by Romero. So no, I would stick with Richie. Okay,
you will stick with Richie and then give it another go and see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. I personally don't think he will. I don't think he'll put Van der Vaart to the left, because
no, I don't see it either.
Yeah, it breaks that.
I would consider it.
Yeah, I think it just breaks that unity between him and Romero, because at the moment.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, finish. The only point I was going to make: you don't want to move too many pieces out of the right places. Do you know what I mean? So if you move one player, you don't want to then move one player to move another player to then move another player. Keep your back five in. If you have to make a change, make one change, which is a natural change. Ben Davies is a natural change to go in there. Emerson Rule's not a natural change, although it can work. Then to move, somebody out, you've got to bring a new defender in. It kind of then maybe disrupts the pattern, as you said, with them two centre-backs playing the way they are. Keep them the same. Bring Ben Davies in. I don't think we're going to have to do as much defending as you think, Sean. So I don't think Brennan Johnson's going to be running back that much. So I personally think what it's going to be more of is who can break down that right back from the left side. I'm not sure Richie's that player. I'd rather have Brennan Johnson going 1v1 against anybody rather than someone like Richarlison, in my opinion. So that's why I think it will be an opportunity for him to start, because you'll get opportunities to go 1v1, where I don't think we've had that a lot this season. I know Kulusevski does it, but he doesn't have the pace to get and beat players consistently. Brennan Johnson is a fucking live wire.
He is. And I think, like I said, that's what I was saying. For him tomorrow to come into that game, I think with his pace and that, I think it could cause them problems. Because not only have you got Son running down, with Kulu running down, you'll have Johnson, and Johnson head down who attacks him. What's up?
Dear shit. Johnson and Johnson. You think you're funny, don't you? Did you say Johnson and Johnson? You did, didn't you? You know what you're doing in this. You do know what you're doing. Oh,
anyway, right. Let's have a look. Dinosaur is saying here.
Apologies for all those who are backed by Johnson and Johnson.
Oh my gosh, he's on different. Oh my god.
Dinosaur saying here. Roy has no Ulis, Eze, Henderson, Tompkins, and Ferguson. Low block and man mark Madison. I think this is what a lot of teams are going to start doing now, aren't they? Low blocks, man mark Madison. Well, try, because everyone's tried it and no one's succeeded yet, you know. And as that saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. I think everyone's going to keep trying all season. But then if you man mark him, you've got other players. You've got Son, you've got Kulusevski, potentially Richarlison or Johnson. So we've got enough players. So I think Palace are in a predicament. I think they're in a pickle, what to do and what not to do. So, right, everybody in the comment section as well, please. Score predictions. I would like everybody's score predictions for the game tomorrow evening, starting with you, Sean.
Thanks very much. Yeah,
that's all right. You know how it is.
I'm gonna go for a safe and solid 2-0. I think we'll win 2-0.
Solid.
Yeah,
safe
like
and
that.
solid.
We're scoring 2 goals per game, so why not keep it up?
And who will be scoring?
Well, Son will score, definitely.
Son?
Yeah, he'll probably get both of them, to be honest.
Okay, right. David Clark is saying here, before we move on to your Sam, Johnson is wasted on the left. You will only see the best of him on the right-hand side if he is right-footed, has great pace and a good cross. He has to replace that waste of space on the right.
Ooh, harsh.
Do you know what, though?
Harsh.
It is harsh. It is harsh. But at some point, I would try him on the right. I'm not saying get rid of Kulu altogether, but at some point, let's try him on the right as well, because I know you can play across the front. You can play across the front, right? In all three. But I still don't think Kulu gets dropped. I think, like you said, Sean, Kulu does a lot of work. Sometimes it's, you know, the wastefulness is there, but there's a lot of work going forward and coming back as well. We haven't seen that in Johnson yet.
And I'm going to add to that. Kulu hasn't been subbed many times this season. You know, I've seen Madison come off, seen Son come off plenty of times. I know they're our best players, but there's been opportunities when Kulusevski has been brought off. I do agree with you in terms of his work rate. The other thing I'm going to say about Kulusevski is he's probably one of the only players, but who's really good at beating a man. He doesn't go away from him with his pace, but he's got that beating of a man. I see him do that against Fulham. He's done a couple of tricks, got past his player. It's then that next bit. If you're playing a low block, what you need to have is players that are going to commit players to get past them in a 1v1 situation, because that's the only way you can break them down. You can play intricate football, but you do need players that are going to commit to dribbling. There's an opportunity for Gil to maybe play in this game tomorrow as well, maybe come on because you're going to need that. It's not going to be balls over the top. His Palace are going to play. So Kulusevski's not going to really rely on his pace tomorrow, but his trickery, I think he's the best of the front three at this moment in time.
I agree. Michael Bennett is saying Spurs 2, Palace 0. Sam, what are you saying?
3-0. I'm saying 3-0. Not an easy 3-0, but 3-0 obviously looks like a good scoreline. I think it's going to be tough, but once we get that goal, if it's in the first half, it makes a big difference. If it goes longer in the game, it might not be 3-0. But I think if we score first in the first half, I think we'll go on to win this game quite comfortably, because Palace will have to come out and do something. They haven't got enough firepower. They've got good defenders, but it changes their mentality. 3-0 Spurs, 2 goals to Son, 1 goal to Madison.
David Clark is saying Palace 1, Spurs 2, Son and Richarlison. And then, yeah, you might as well add Johnson. Sorry, Kevin Gonzalez. Kevin Gonzalez is saying 3-0 to Spurs. Do you know what?
Charlton Johnson. Oh, come on, we can't do this, man. This is not. Oh,
Do you know what?
God.
I think, right, it's going to be the same. We're going to, that we did against Fulham. It's going to be an easy win for us. And I think we made hard work of that second half. Bloody hard work. And Postecoglou did say that this, you know what, I'm not going to have this. This is ridiculous. You play full 90 minutes. You do not take the piss. So I think on that note, I think there's not going to be no lackluster second half performance. I think from start to the finish, we'll be on it. And I think I'm with you, Sam. I think 3-0. And I think Richarlison will score. I think Son will score. And I think Brennan Johnson will score for Spurs. So I'm going for Son. Richarlison, Johnson, and Son.
Heung-min Son.
Son. And also 727 Star is saying Tottenham in good form. They will win for sure. And the reason I say that free thing is because, are you ready for this, guys? And this is for all the Spurs fans this weekend, yeah? When you're feeling sad and low, Ange will take you where you want to go. Smiling, dancing, everything is free. All you need is positivity. Lily White's of the world. Spurs up your life. Everybody, every boy, every girl, spice up your life. Anyway, sorry. Bit of Spice Girls there for you, but anyway. Right, so guys, playing on a Friday is going to should give us the advantage, right? Because we already know what's happening. We need to do what we need to do. Yeah, we get them points. We're 5 points clear. So come tomorrow night. You're saying we're going to be 5 clear. So Sean, you're going to be saying you're saying we're 5 clear. Everybody in the comment section is saying we're going to be 5 clear. When are we going to now? Do we then? Because the question is going to be asked on Saturday, even Friday night, even on Sky tomorrow night. When do we When do we start taking Spurs seriously, Sean? Do we start taking Spurs seriously after tomorrow's performance? Because that'll be 10 games unbeaten if we win.
You're asking me, a fan who's been going since 1968, to take Spurs seriously? Of course I take Spurs seriously. Of course I take Spurs seriously. Whether other people will take us seriously, I do know that we're living rent-free in a lot of fans' heads at the moment. And they keep wanting to push us to say we're going to win the league. We're not going to win the league. We're not going to win the league. So enjoy what we're doing. Ange said, enjoy what we're doing, and let him know. And we'll let him know at the end of the season whether we've had a good season or not.
Yeah.
But you cannot say you're in a chance for the title until the new year, and probably well into the new year. So come back to me at Easter.
Yeah,
and we'll know. We'll know. They'll take us seriously. They'll have to take us seriously.
That's what I mean.
The longer we go unbeaten, but you know, please.
I'm not saying we're going to win it.
Please don't let us think we're winning the title.
I'm not saying we're going to win the league. All I'm saying is, do they now start taking Spurs seriously? Because
if they don't take us seriously, then we'll disappear over the hill.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam?
I've always said, we're in the title race. When you get to this stage of the season, we're a quarter of the way through the season after 9 games, 10 games tomorrow. We're not in Europe. We don't have Champions League to look in 2 weeks' time when the others have got to play it. I've said if we get 4 points from these next 2 games, I'd be happy. I'd be delighted if we get 6. Anything less, I'm not overly happy with. But if you win tomorrow, then you have to win against Chelsea at home. That's what I'm saying. So it would then be 6 points. So take care of the game tomorrow. Win tomorrow, you are in a title race. Now, the stats suggest if you are top after a certain amount of time, then you're going to be in a certain position, which should be in the Champions League. That's our aim. Top 5 should be our aim for this season, to be in the Champions League. But I know Ange Postecoglou, in terms of his mentality, he's played it well. He's not saying publicly, where Spurs are going to win, but he's not said publicly Spurs are not going to be in it. Like what Jose, what Mourinho have done, and what Conte done before and said, the squad's not good enough, the squad's... Fuck that. He's not saying we're not going to win it, but what he's saying is I'm taking it game by game. And if he does it like how Claudio Ranieri did it, I'm going game by game. I'm going game by game until he got to 37 games, and then he said, "We're going to win a league." That's the sort of mentality that you want.
Yeah.
But privately, he's got to be telling these players, "There's an opportunity here. If you keep on playing like you're playing and getting these results, tomorrow is all about a result. If we don't play well and win, so be it. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be, oh, well, we didn't do this. We just need to win." So, yeah, I'm all for this title race, and game by game, tick them off. We'll see what happens at Christmas.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And that's it. And I think he said it, hasn't he? One game at a time. We said it last year as well. Just play one game at a time. Comment here from 727 The Star. Star and Basuma have really improved their game. Dino still saying here, will Levy be bold in January? He's already bold now, mate. I don't know about in January unless he has a hair transplant, goes to Turkey or somewhere to get hair on, but I know what you're saying.
They're bold, not bald.
I know. Don't you?
Well, that's a rhetorical question, Dino.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, we don't know what Levy's going to do. Exactly. We don't even know who's in charge of the buying now because we've got a whole new recruitment team. So we'll see.
Yeah. David Clark, I'm going to switch my phone and television in January because I don't want to see results. Fair enough. Ange Postecoglou has really changed the team to the point where we could confidently say Spurs could win the league.
I wouldn't say confidently.
No.
But we could win the league. That's a fact. It's not saying we are, but we could. There's no reason why we can't.
Yeah, Kevin Gonzalez is a good point here. It's annoying that majority of Arsenal fans say we haven't played anyone yet. So what do they want? Should we play Man City every week? No, Kevin. What they're waiting for is our fixtures in April when we've got Man U, Newcastle, Liverpool, and is it Arsenal or Man City? They're the four games. They're already looking into the future. So that's where we're going to lose the league, apparently. Up until then, they're not bothered. It's them 4 games that they're bothered about. So,
but Kevin, turn that on their head. So Arsenal fans say we haven't played anybody yet. So we played them.
Exactly. So they played anybody. He's right.
So they're nobody, are they? So Arsenal are nobody. Just turn it on them. Turn it on themselves. We played you, and on another day we take 3 points from you as well.
Exactly. But they won't talk about that. That's the thing, innit? They won't talk about that. And going back to what Dino said about January signings, are we going to be bold? I think Postecoglou will. I think he's already got players lined up that he wants. Because did you read the bit about where it said that in the summer he vetted every single player that came into Spurs? He said he vetted every single one of them once and gave the okay. So it's not a manager who's just saying, yes, I'll take him and that. He's actually saying, all right, let me see what you got. He's making the call, doing whatever he's got to do, and then he's giving him the green, the thumbs up. So
it's interesting today, though, in the press conference. Sorry, Sam. In the press conference, they said, where do you want to improve? And he said everywhere. Yeah. He said everywhere. So he knows what he wants. He knows that these players are good. He said he praised the defence. But he particularly said up front, we're not natural. We're not naturally playing his game. And that's obviously where he's looking at. But, he's not getting carried away. He says, I told when I came here, I said, I'm going to change the team. You need to change the team. And there will be improvements made.
So, Sam, Sean, I'm going to pass the rein over to you now. Now you've got that final. You're in the changing room. Imagine you're in the changing room and you've got the players in front of you now for tomorrow's game. What are you saying to the fans? Oh, fans, what are you saying to your players before they come out of that tunnel? Sam?
As a manager's going into this game, I'm saying to the players, look at the league table. I'm saying there's an opportunity here. We're playing first. You know, don't let this opportunity go by. You know, yes, we can play well. Yes, I know how we can play. Yes, we're still an early team that's, you know, whatever. But what you can do now is show those other teams that we can win in all kinds of different ways against all kinds of different opposition. We played Arsenal, we played Liverpool already. We've got Chelsea to come. We haven't lost so far. We're going to have, at some point, we are going to lose a game. Just don't let it be this one. You know what I mean? Because that will again start people saying, oh, look, it's Spurs again. Win this game. Chelsea will take care of itself because it's Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? This is the game of all the games that I think we've played so far, which is the biggest test from a mental point of view, a test for Spurs to be given the credential as in the title race. 10 games in, Crystal Palace away on a Friday night. People are thinking, Spurs, let's see if these Spurs crumble. No, let's see if these Spurs can put the pressure on everybody else that has to play Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then we'll see what they're saying on TalkSport come over the weekend, come next week.
Sean, what you saying? You got the hot seat. You're sat there. Lights are down. And the team's in front of you. What you saying?
You remember what we've prepared all week for this game? You know the game plan. Follow the game plan. And for fuck's sake, take a shot from outside the box once in a while.
Yeah.
Good God.
Wait, did you not see that Bentancur goal that he scored?
Oh, my word. Did you see?
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh,
he looks like he's... Yeah, I know it was only a shot, but it looks like he's all part of it. Everybody's happy to see him back. He must be doing all right in training. I think he's probably closer to return than a lot of people think. Maybe than even Ange is letting on, but I think he wants to keep him into that point where he's like really buzzing. He's almost saying, you got to play me, boss. You got to play me. If he comes back 90% of what he was before, that midfield suddenly becomes a really, really good. I say it's really good already, but it becomes even better with him in there as an option.
On the bench next week on Monday.
Is it?
On the bench a week on Monday. How would that be?
That would be brilliant. Yeah. If he's on the bench for Chelsea, that's fucking excellent. I'll be like, yay! That's our team in midfield is almost set then, because that midfield with Maddison, Sarr, Basuma as the three, and then you've got Bentancur pushing who could come in. Oh my good grief! And Hotspur, like I said, Hotspur has not done too bad. He's not any of them four that I've mentioned, but he can certainly fill in, and it's whether he can keep these players happy. There seems to be a camaraderie, but there's one or two players, obviously, we know if you're not playing who are used to playing all the time, they might start. But the more you can keep that together is the better chance you have of getting success anyway.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm sat in there, right? And all my players in front of me. And this is what I'm going to say, yeah? There's something about this. Let's keep it moving. And if it's good, let's just get something cooking. Because I really want to rock with you. I'm feeling some connection to the things you do. I don't know what it is. That's make me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstars. Because you got all your eyes on you. That's my one. Anyway, that's my team talk for tomorrow, because they also.
I'm changing my forecast based on that. If Anne sang that, it would be Palace 3, Spurs 0. It's bloody terrible.
But it's true. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, there's something about you. Let's keep it moving. You got everyone talking about you, and all the eyes are on you. So there you go. Anyway, guys, thank you.
Can cope with the pressure. Yeah, sorry, Ange. I think Ange actually likes this. He likes to be, the one who's can he prove himself. He's done this everywhere he's been. He's come out to try and prove himself. He's not stopping now. He wants to prove himself to the Premier League that he's going to come in here and he's going to try. He's going to try to win the league. Don't get me wrong. He is in the back of his mind. I can't see him thinking, he just wants to progress these players to get to a point where they're confident enough that we can go into, because look at us now. Last season, we'd be going into this Crystal Palace game saying, might be doing a bit of a Spurs here. We're all as fans saying we're going into this game thinking we're going to win. So the players have this mentality now because the manager's giving it to them. We're on board, man. I'm on board fully.
And the thing is, I see it as a free hit because he's going out there he knows what he wants from his players. They're performing. Not one of them players got a bad thing to say about Postecoglou. They're all saying, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a man, right? What a top guy he is. His aura, his personality, everything from, and I'm talking not just from the men's, 23s, 18s, the women's team. Everyone's got good things to say about him, and they're loving it. We see him on the touchline, arms folded, you know, he does what he's got to do. He doesn't rant and rave like that one down the road, up and down the pitch, doing his steps or whatever. And then he says it at the end. If he's not happy, he'll say, they were shit. You know what I mean? Not throw your toys out of the pram like Conte used to do. I don't know. Don't tell me. I don't know. I get paid 6 million. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. It's not my team. It's not my players. This guy's got it going. And that for me now, like you said, Sam, going to Selhurst Park, in fact, going any ground now, you've got to be confident because you've got a manager that believes in you and he's told you to go out there, play your game, play the way you want to play, the way we know you like to play. There you go. I mean, Maddison, you would never have thought this guy's only been at the club for not even 6 months. Yeah. But he's loving this club. Everything is so positive about him. He's got Bellingham on tune as well, apparently, you know, loving Spurs. So it's great. It's absolutely great. So, chaps, thank you for the preview show. It's gone an hour, man. But we could have gone on and on and on. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. Thank you to David Clark. Thank you to Kanta. Thank you to 727 The Star. Kevin Gonzalez is in the house. Thank you to you. Thank you to Pav. Thank you, Michael Bennett. Thank you, everyone. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, go and smash that like button on Spurs, PRTvSpurs and Paxton Road TV. We should be back tomorrow evening with the reaction show. Hopefully, Sam will be available. Sean, Pav, the whole Paxton Road TV will be there, singing, shouting. We'll be shouting from the rooftops because we will be 5 points clear at the top of the league. And I know no one's going to clip this because we are going to be 5 points clear. Guys, final words, or are we done?
My final thoughts are, I think the result is the more important than anything tomorrow. So regardless of how we play, if we get that, I know, but no, we play a certain way. So we're going to see a good level of football. So I'm not bothered about that. If it was content, be different. But tomorrow, for me, the result is more important. The result, even if it's a 1-0 scrappy, it just makes us 5 points clear. And that's all I want to see tomorrow. 5 points clear at the top. That's it. 10 games down. Come on.
Sean, anything to add?
You better get onto the slide for the top of the table. So, see, it's in the stars.
Don't written in the stars, million miles away. Message to the Gooners.
Do you know them Gooners? I bet they're waiting. They are waiting for us. They can't wait for us to lose. They can't wait.
How many drafts have they got in their ex profiles? How many drafts?
They're so salty. It's unbelievable.
They're waiting.
So salty. They're so salty. Because you know what it is? Our process has taken 4 months. Theirs has taken 4 years. And that's why they're salty.
Did you see the guy who posted the clip about Saliba? Was it Saliba? I think it was Saliba. I posted a clip of Saliba intercepting someone and turning and going up the field. And someone said, under nines training session, we're going to learn how to play the ball with the outside of your foot and turn. Oh. And it was just like, just shut them down. Shut them down.
Fair enough. Right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the comments. We will be back with you guys tomorrow evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the game. But most importantly, come back to the reaction show. PRTvSpurs, Paxton Road TV. Tomorrow evening, straight after the game. Have a great night. See you later. Bye-bye.